Hard to believe, but the most talked about person heading into the NCAA tournament is not a player, is not a coach. It's a dad, LaVar Ball, the father of the UCLA star Lonzo Ball. He's taking center stage as the tournament kicks off. He caught everybody's attention, and maybe that's surprising some people, but he promised that he's going to make his three sons into stars. They're going to get $1 billion shoe deal, or that's what he's going to ask. And he might be 1/3 of the way there because Lonzo Ball is going to be a high draft pick. Now, it's one thing to be a great player in the NBA. John Wall's a great player in the NBA. Nobody's buying John Wall's shoes. He doesn't have a shoe deal. There are a lot of guys who are really good, and they don't have shoe deals. So just because your son's a high draft pick or a good player doesn't mean you're going to get a shoe deal. Or if you do get a shoe deal, who's buying your shoes? He's got another brother. Well, two other brothers are going to go to UCLA. LaMelo scored 92 points in a high school game last month. They just lost last night, I believe. Didn't they, Fritzy?
They did.
Yeah, Chino Hills. So I guess their season's over. Yeah, Fritzy.
Should I feel bad that I was rooting for them to lose? Or when I found out they lost, it made me smile in a way because of the dad. And I have nothing against the kids, and they have nothing to do with it. I don't know. I just felt like, good for them.
So you're rooting against the high school kids?
Yes. Because their dad's got to calm down, and because he's yelling and screaming on the court, and with everything he's been doing and saying, there you go, bring you down a notch.
Is he putting too much pressure on the kids? This whole thing, his tactics have sparked a debate about parenting. Maybe he's just expressing extreme concern about supreme concern, if you think about it, with his kids. That's it. But they're kids. The issue I have, Tony Kornheiser brought this up yesterday. It feels like dad is writing checks that he's asking his kids to cash. Hey, you're going to be the next Steph Curry. Hey, you weren't the next Steph Curry? Don't blame me. Hey, I'm asking for $1 billion shoe deal. Hey, blame somebody else if we don't get this. Plus, if all three are going to be stars in the NBA, which is very unlikely, you could get $500 million if two are really successful. Look at the shoe deals that we have right now. LeBron has $1 billion lifetime deal with Nike. Now, granted, LeBron's one of the top 5 players of all time. James Harden has a $200 million deal. Kevin Durant has a $200 million deal. You can get those deals. But does Russell Westbrook have a $100 million shoe deal? And Russell Westbrook is a great player. If Lonzo Ball is 3/4 of the way towards Russell Westbrook, that'll be great. And maybe you could cash in on a shoe deal. And look, we've debated about, parents overbearing parents. He's got confidence in his kids. But he's created a brand here. I don't know how long it is. I don't know how sustainable it is. I don't know how much money he makes out of this, but he created a brand. And we did not know about these kids, at least on the national landscape, until this year. Now, watching Lonzo last year in high school, I thought, big kid in high school, talented, but he's a 6'7", 6'8" kid in high school. You should put up great numbers. And then to watch the style, when LaMelo puts up 92, granted, it's not a real 92 because he's not even back on defense, but he's got skill. He's got talent. The kids can play. But as far as moving forward and overbearing parents, and I think his dad wants the spotlight. When his dad talked about the $1 billion deal, fine, go for it. If you think it's there, go for it. If you really think your son's as good as Steph Curry, okay, but you're putting a whole lot of pressure on him. If he doesn't turn out to be a really good player, then you look silly. The only thing I would caution him, and not that he's asking for my advice, is to make sure that your word means something so you're believable. And if you're believable, then your brand is real. Jordan was real. Jordan won. Jordan is the one who wanted the ball. Jordan dominated. So he's real. He didn't create something other than his style of play, not with words. Jordan went out and said, here I am, deal with me. LaVar Ball is saying, here, deal with me, with just words. We haven't gotten to the point where you go and say, you know what, he backed up everything he said. His kids backed up everything he said. You don't want to say something silly or stupid like, in the day I could take Jordan. Because now your validity takes a hit. Your word takes a hit. And now you're becoming a punching bag on the internet. That's not what you want. You don't want to be laughed at. You want to be laughed with. If he joked and said, you know what, back in my day, as good as I was, I could have taken Jordan and had fun with it, okay. What did Vince Carter say yesterday? By saying you could take Jordan, do you really think Michael Jordan's going to go, hey, I'd be more than happy to sign you guys up to Air Jordan after that? I don't think so. I don't know if he's helping when he says that. I think he helps and he hurts at the same time. But your word has to be something that you can buy into that's legitimate. That's currency. And I think that's where he makes a mistake. Don't tell me you could beat Michael Jordan. Don't. You can tell me your sons are worth $1 billion. They might be the next Steph Curry. Okay, you believe that as a dad. We don't believe that you could take Michael Jordan. You averaged 2 points in college. 2. Now you're telling me that those 2 points you average are going to be the 2 points you score against Michael Jordan. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm as stupid as they come when it comes to confidence. I wouldn't say that. Well, maybe I would. Do you think I could score on Jordan? I'm the same guy who earlier this week asked Steph Curry, if I had 10 tries, do you think I could score on you? So, yeah, I'd say something stupid. But I'd never say that I'm looking for $1 billion. Well, I am looking for $1 billion for my kids for a shoe deal. If anybody's interested. I do think my son is a little better than Steph Curry right now. A little bit better.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.